welcome in. Episode 21. 21. We were going to do a big live stream. Didn't work out tonight, that's all right. But we got a big live stream coming after the holidays, leading the NFL playoffs. We do have some drinks tonight. Don't question it. Jets got something in that Powerade. We got Henny in that Powerade. Excited to get into some things tonight. I know I say this every week, but I finally get that song stuck out of my head on like Tuesday, and then we record Wednesday night, and it's back stuck in my head the rest of the week. But what's up, gents? Episode 21. 21 of these boys. It's crazy. Jet, you got some Henny in that Powerade?
Raspberry Smirnoff.
Raspberry Smirnoff. Nice mix. Little throwback to 10th grade. All right, we got a lot to dive into this week. It's been 2 weeks since we've done a legit episode. Obviously, a ton has happened with the Lions. We're rolling in the college football playoffs. I like where we've been starting the last couple weeks, though. So we got to talk a little conspiracy before we hop in to the sports talk. So we got to talk about this drone situation in New Jersey, and I have to say that the drones have made their way to Philly. There have been sightings. I have not personally seen them. I will let you and the listeners know when I do spot one. I will post it on the socials. But drones popping up. Government claims they don't know what they are. Government claims they're not ours and they're not a foreign adversaries. So is that them hinting that these could be extraterrestrial? Me and Jet don't know, but supposedly Stark has a take on this, and he's got a source, and he knows what these drones are. So, Stark, why don't you kick us off and just give us your take on these drones? What are you hearing through your sources?
I saw a pretty, obviously take everything with a grain of salt, but I saw something on X of a guy who worked with drones and had a lot of experience working with drones. And he stated that these drones were used to detect nuclear activity and radiation. Yeah, it would suck. But he believed or said that they are ours. And this is like they're trying not to scare anybody, but they're going to do some kind of testing to see how quickly they can scan a city, like an entire city, for radiation, for a nuclear bomb or something crazy. I don't know, but that seems to be the most realistic thing, because I just feel like if they weren't ours, we would be shooting them out of the sky or getting rid of them pretty. Remember that balloon?
So
that was a big deal.
Stark, I like where you went with that. I thought you were going in a different direction.
No, that's what I believe.
I've heard other things. I think that's the most logical, but I heard they're UAPs.
Unidentified
anomalous phenomenons, which is what
I thought it was aerial.
Technically what the U.S. government is trying to call them now. And I've heard we haven't shot them down because we can't shoot them down. They can't be shot down. They can evade.
They've been shot down. They've been starting to get shot down. Thinking Philly, they're better shots than out there. And where did they originate?
Jersey.
Really?
I've been seeing video. There's one. It's like the white drone. It's big. It looks like a mini airplane with no windows. It was on an overpass. I saw. They're huge.
Yeah, I don't think that that's the one, though. I don't think that that's what is flying around. That could just be somebody's.
They're not. These are not you can't own the ones that these are not just average Joe drones.
Yeah.
They're
Brad Doyle built it in his garage.
Yeah. No, they're the size of the hood of a car. They're huge. They're not
bigger than
regular
that.
drones. No, this is not the drone that we won at one time. Not that. These are big, industrial drones.
I was told that they're alien They're alien species.
I don't believe that.
They can't be shot down. And the reason why we're not bringing out many comments on it, we don't want mass hysteria.
Yes, I believe that. I do believe in that will hide a lot of things because of mass hysteria, whatever it's called.
Okay, so Stark, I like your explanation for this too because I think it makes sense. The thing that makes the most sense to me is if they weren't ours, we would absolutely shoot them down. But then Joey,
take them way more seriously than this.
Yeah, Joey, your explanation makes me a little scared though, and we don't have enough time to get into this, but at some point on this pod, we will talk about. I don't know if you guys have heard about the conspiracy that back in the Dwight D. Eisenhower days, we actually made a deal with aliens. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with that. So we'll get into that at some point, and maybe that's what's going on.
Wasn't that right before the technology boom in the 2000s? Yep.
Well, no, not really the 2000s, but yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yeah. In the grand scheme of Earth.
When you think about the age of the universe, it was right before the 2000s.
Yeah, but we're talking like the 30s, 40s, 50s, like way.
Oh yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Then it's something separate.
Gotcha.
Ronald Reagan.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it at some point. But no, the drone thing. I have been very into this, and I need to hear
Shane Gillis's take on the drones. I don't know why I haven't heard what he has to say. I feel like I'll believe what he says.
Or Theo Von.
I do think you're right too, Stark. I thought it was Reagan, not Eisenhower, but I could be wrong.
I think it's Reagan. I think Reagan made a deal with the aliens, and then JFK was seen walking out of a meeting.
With a lizard.
What's that?
You guys.
With a lizard.
Yeah.
You guys, do you think Reagan or JFK came first as president?
JFK came first, and then Reagan. Is that correct?
I
should know this. I should know.
I couldn't. I don't know if I could name.
It's
the
JFK
order
before Ronald Reagan. Isn't it?
Yeah, like 20 years before.
20 years. You tried to trick me.
I don't know if I could name 5 consecutive.
The way I did the twist that just now made it sound like I get what you're doing.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into it because that's
get our facts down before we.
That's one we got to get into at some point. But
I agree.
But no, the listeners, we love to hear your guys' take on the New Jersey drones. What is going on? Are they aliens? Are they ours looking for nuclear bombs? Is there a nuclear bomb in the United States? Is that why they're doing this? Or is it just a test run? I don't know. Let us know your takes. And I think maybe I know what our conspiracy will be next week. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that U.S. deal with the aliens potentially. But, all right, let's talk some sports. Jet, I'm excited to hear what you've got. You claim you've got a really good hot take from a listener.
Listener submitted hot take of the week. Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels will run away with the ACC next year.
I actually don't hate that.
He came with facts, and I should have wrote them down. They're on my phone, but I'm recording with my phone, so I can't cite the sources right now. We might have to add them in clip notes post. But
post-production.
They really don't play anyone good. He pointed out their schedule. I don't think they play anyone good, and it's pretty much have a cakewalk to the ACC championship. And obviously, with Belichick there, you think that they're going to probably get some decent recruits, possibly some big NIL money from maybe Mr. Kraft. Who knows? Maybe they mend terms.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Who knows?
So, here's my take on Bill Belichick to the Tar Heels. I feel like this goes one of two ways. They're great. They win the ACC. They're in the college football playoff. Or they suck. I don't think there's a middle of the road here. And I don't know why, but that's my feeling.
For him to be mediocre. I think either they don't go with the Belichick way, which is, everyone's early to practice. Everyone knows the back in front of the playbook. Everything's done a certain way. And I don't know if that translates to college. But I'm rooting for it.
Same.
I got a take on that.
Let's hear it.
I was listening to this. This is not my take, but it is Hank Lockwood from Pardon My Take said this, not from BBL, but Pardon My
Post
Take.
him.
He believes that he'll go in there with a softer attitude. Like he'll have to. Otherwise, there's just no way that he would have taken this job because with NIL and everything. But I will say, how the hell can anyone make any predictions about next year when the transfer portal is what it is? I mean, it's insane. The transfer portal is ridiculous.
It's getting out of hand.
It's
It
insane.
is.
It's
It's
the dumbest
ruining
thing
the
I've ever
sport we
seen.
love. It's
Yeah,
ruining the
which
sport we
Bryce
love.
Underwood never went to Michigan. Ah.
Oh, that has nothing to do with transfer portal. That's NIL. I don't have any problem with the NIL.
They're the same.
Here's how I'd fix it. Here's a couple ways you could fix it. You give each player can transfer one time. So you get one transfer. That's it, or maybe two. How many of these guys have transferred every year?
There's
There's quite a few.
Zachariah Branch is transferring. That's crazy. Like these random, just like I don't know. It makes no. They're gonna go get more money somewhere else. Like that's all.
That's what I'm saying. It's NIL and that go hand in hand because they want more money, so they go to a different place. Those two things are one and the same. If NIL wasn't a thing, transfer portal would not be that big of a deal. The whole UNLV guy sitting out, the quarterback sitting out after 4 or 5 games this year was because he wanted more NIL money. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
ruining the sport. It's ruining the sport we love, and I think it's. I don't. So did you guys see? I'm not gonna be able to pronounce his name. There's a lot of letters there, but the 5-star defensive back, true freshman at Bama, and he literally, other teams tampering, calling him and offering him these mega, massive NIL deals. So he kind of pump fakes that he's going to enter the portal unless Bama ponies up and matches the deal. So then Bama's got to scramble and find money to pay this guy. And it's just like it's getting out of hand. It's getting to the point where it's like, okay, Major League Baseball. Every single year, the Yankees are going to compete, the Dodgers are going to compete, and the Mets. Although the Mets haven't won anything in a very long time, but because there's no salary cap, and it's just who's got the biggest pocketbook. That's where the stars are going to go play. And like a team like the Tampa Bay Rays and teams like the Oakland A's, like they're just never going to be able to compete on that level. Maybe once in a once in a while they'll have a decent squad. And I feel like that's ultimately where we're going to get with college football. Who's got the biggest alumni base that can dish out the most amount of money? And that's going to be the teams that compete year in and year out.
See, I agree and I disagree. If you implemented one transfer like Stark said, some of these kids would go to like smaller schools and then they transfer to, let's say they do transfer to like they're at, I don't know, some piece of shit school and then they go to MSU.
Michigan State.
They're going to be stuck at Michigan State because previously if they went to a piece of shit school and like then they went to MSU, after they had a monster season at MSU, they would go to Texas A&M or they would go to Florida State, somewhere where they're going to get offered a bag, but no, they would get stuck there. Or if you have somebody at Liberty and then they're like, holy shit, I can go play my junior year at Coastal Carolina. Obviously, that could be a step up depending on where the programs are at the time. Boom, all of a sudden this kid's a stud. Like, yeah, he's stuck at Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. I really like the one-time transfer rule. And then the other thing, too, and I don't know if college football would ever get here.
I think unless your coach quits.
Yeah, I agree with that, and there'd be some back doors. But I think the other thing too, and I don't think we'll ever get here, but you could implement. Why don't we make these dudes sign contracts? Like, okay, you want to come take $1.5 million to play? We'll sign you to a 1-year deal for $1.5 million because the situation. What was his name? The offensive tackle from Bama. He went to Bama. He was committed to Iowa. Bama came in with more money late, so he commits to Bama. Plays a season, his true freshman season at Bama. In the offseason, Iowa puts enough money together to pay this guy and try to get him to transfer. He transfers to Iowa. Does spring ball with Iowa. He got paid like over $1 million to go to Iowa. Plays spring ball with Iowa. Does their spring game. As soon as the transfer portal opens up after spring ball, he goes right back to Bama. And all of that money he got paid from Iowa, legally, he keeps. because they can't make it, that you have to play to get the money. And so I just think it's broken. And what's that dude, Bear, who started at Georgia? It is the funniest picture I've ever seen. He is in the transfer portal for the third time now. He's looking for his third school, and he took a recruiting pick at Penn State. He's got the Georgia logo tattooed on his bicep.
Georgia tattoo. Yeah.
And he's flexing the Georgia tattoo in a Penn State jersey, but his profile picture is him in his USC jersey, which is the school he's at right now. It is just – it's ruining the sport we love. We can't spend too much more time on it, but I
agree.
Getting back to the original point, I really do think Belichick can be successful at UNC, and I'm excited to see it.
I was going to say with that, he's definitely going to get a big-time quarterback in the transfer portal. The other thing with that, it takes, like good recruiting totally out of the picture. Like, doesn't matter if you can find a diamond in the rough anymore because the diamond in the rough isn't going to stay with you for very long. Like, it just doesn't matter. You're going to have money from now on.
I agree. I think so. You talk here. This will be the second part of my take drop, but I was listening to part of my take today, and Kirk Herbstreit was on, and I don't know if you guys saw his son committed to Michigan. His son's going to Michigan, which is insane, right? And he was talking about it, and he wasn't taking a shot at Ohio State, but what he said was Ohio State was never serious about recruiting him, and never offered him a scholarship. And Michigan offered him a scholarship. Are you going to kill the kid because he is going to go to the place that offered him a scholarship, although he's a lifelong Ohio State fan? He's going to Michigan because they offered him a scholarship.
He's not good.
He's not good.
Well, no, he's a 3-star, but Michigan needs depth in the quarterback room. Like they didn't have any quarterbacks, and they lost all of their quarterbacks to the portal.
He will never dress a game
No,
for them.
and he won't. But Michigan offered him a scholarship. You can't kill the kid. But here's the thing that Kirk said, specifically about Ohio State. They're more interested in a kid like Herbstreit going to the MAC, developing at the MAC, and then if he turns out, transfer into Ohio State, and we'll pay you, and you can be a part of the team. But they aren't interested in developing young players. They're interested in going out in the portal and getting a quarterback who's already been developed, and it's just lazy coaching. It's just laziness. People don't want to find those diamonds in the rough. They don't want to develop these young players anymore. So now it's literally gonna be like a farm system where you're gonna have players getting developed in the MAC and the AAC, and then they're in the Mountain West, and then they'll be transferring into these bigger programs in the Power 4 schools.
So my question to you is, and I'm sorry for prolonging this, but I might not know enough about Ohio State quarterbacks. How many have done that? Obviously, right now, Will Howard was not at Ohio State. Previous to that, where was McCord?
No, he was a recruit. No, it's a new thing for Ohio State.
Previous to that, C.J. Stroud was where?
Ohio State.
Previous to that, Fields was Georgia?
Georgia.
Okay.
And that's what Kirk was saying, is that's kind of the new outlook of these teams, and at least Ohio State, they're not interested in taking a shot on a 3-star quarterback out of high school and developing him. They straight up told him, go to the MAC, get developed, and if you turn out, then you can come play for us. I don't love it. I don't love it. It takes like what makes college football so amazing is the tradition, the rivalries, and it just sucks. Like you get a team like this year's Michigan-Ohio State game. How many of those starters on the field, and I don't know the number, but I can tell you it's a lot more than Michigan had. How many starters on that field and playing in that game were transfers, and this was their first year at Ohio State, and they don't understand what that rivalry means and what that tradition means. You know what I mean? It just takes a little bit. It's hard to love it like I used to. I'm starting to appreciate the NFL more and more.
People are talking at him that you can't speak on this. That's just what the chat's saying.
Name them. Name drop them.
Yeah. That I don't want to. It's like Admin 3, Flushing Raider 4 Life.
Elaborate. Why can't I speak on this?
Birmingham Boy 72. They're saying that you went from Flushing to Powers to Birmingham, back to Powers, and that you're a transfer portal kid.
He is a transfer
right.
portal kid. That is true.
We're not going to spend too much time on this. Joey, you and I both know. The plan was always for me to go to Powers. That was always the plan, buddy. And just because we took you behind the shed in football and basketball every year,
Oh my
while you're dressed in your little outfits leading the student section. All right.
Facts.
All right, let's get into the steak and potatoes of the episode.
Potatoes.
We are going to first. We got to do who's who. You guys have who's who? We doing that?
Yeah.
All right.
Call me asparagus.
All right. I will go first. Is Sione Vaki the Travis Hunter of Austin Ecklers?
You want me to go second?
Somebody go. Somebody say something.
Yeah. Is BBL Slim the Michael Jordan of Trent Atias?
Yeah,
Wait, I can get behind this.
Yeah.
That I might be better, but that's fair. I've never seen that man win a bet. I've never seen that man hit a bet. Go
Signed
ahead.
a deal with Prize Picks. Didn't he sign a big ass deal with them?
I have no clue.
If I was a sports book, I'd sign him. The dude doesn't win a bet. He's got like 300,000 followers, maybe more than. Maybe he's got millions of followers. I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people fade him.
True. He's literally, yeah, that's true. All right, Sark.
I don't think I have one this week, guys. Sorry, moving on.
All right.
I don't have one.
That's
My
fair.
brain is blank.
All right, that's fair. We got to get into NFL talk anyway, and the Lions talk. And the Obama talk. All right, so obviously there's so much to talk about with the Lions. We haven't recorded in 2 weeks. Since then, we had the Packers game, and Stark and I broke that down a little bit on the live stream last week. Awesome win by the Lions. And then they go and they lose to the Bills. But that's not really the storyline. Like, okay, they lost by 6 points to the Bills. They're 12-2. Like, the game doesn't really mean that much. It's the injuries. And quick update, I'm sure you guys have seen this, but the Lions have 22 players on IR that are either currently on IR or, off the freaking roster, definitely done for the season. 19 of those on the defensive side of the ball. If you listen to the podcast, I hope you know this, but just to give you context, you play 11 at a time, okay? The Lions have 19 defenders on IR. And it's not just some, random dudes off the bench. It's their defensive player of the year who is running away with it, Aiden Hutchinson. Just this weekend, you lose Aleem McNeil, who is our version of Chris Jones. Carlton Davis, our number one corner, lockup corner, goes out. We got some problems on the defensive side of the ball. And then maybe it's not the biggest hit, but the most surprising hit that none of us saw coming was the day after the Buffalo game, David Montgomery out for the year. Now, I do need to add, as we're recording this, it looks very likely that Monty's out for the year. But Campbell did say today he's gotten 2 opinions on it. He wants to go and get a third before they make any decisions on him. So I don't know what that means. Could those have been one guy said, no, you're good, and the other guy said, no, you need to sit, and he's going to go get a third opinion, or he just wants to be certain that that his knee needs surgery because they're in the midst of a Super Bowl run. But so, Jet, we're going to start with you, and I just, you've had some time. It's Wednesday, so you've had some time to digest it. What are your overall feelings on the Lions, and what's your outlook for the rest of the season? How much has it changed?
I'm going to give 2. 1, I was at the game, left early.
That's crazy.
Early. We're down 14-35, and the Bills hadn't punted yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't sticking around. There were so many people downtown Detroit. Even leaving late in the third quarter, I think there was 2 minutes left. It took me. I live, 20, 15 minutes from the stadium. It took me like an hour and 10 to get home. It was madhouse downtown Detroit. Got in the car. My Uber driver called me a bitch because I said that I was upset with the loss. And he started going through all these stats about Josh Allen being the MVP and how can you be mad. I am just upset, not at the team, at how many injuries we have. This is so unfortunate because we're having a once-in-a-lifetime run. Stark brought up the stat of how much we were outscoring opponents by. And that was only like halfway through the season. And it's definitely, I think, going to slow down now because other teams are going to be able to score on us. But not only was our offense so elite, but our defense was also elite. And I think we're back to where we were last year, which we can still win a Super Bowl. But it's going to be a lot harder, and I think we have to lean on the offense a lot more. And we're not going to get to have these explosive plays. I think it's going to be a lot more like slower offense trying to bleed the clock so our defense isn't on the field for so damn long or just getting beat to shit out of. So I still Super Bowl or bust, but I am very, very sad about all the injuries. Carlton Davis and Aleem McNeil both, just that's two massive hits.
That's it, Stark. Before we go to you, that's just one thing I want to mention is like Aleem McNeil is that dude on the defensive line. Like I feel like he's one of those kind of under the radar guys, and I don't know if people truly understand how important he was to that defense. And it's like if you told me, if you gave me a choice of defenders that we could lose for the rest of the season before Sunday, like Aleem McNeil and Carlton Davis would be probably the last two that I picked, right? Like losing Kirby or Brian Branch would be devastating. But we've got two, they both play safety. They're both the ball hawks, and I would if Kirby went out, I would trust that Branch could pick up some of that slack. But losing Carlton on the outside, like I can't watch Kendall Vildor cover somebody anymore. I can't. And Stark, I'm going to go to you in a second, but I just want to add this. We are about to get Iffy back, and that gives us some flexibility. We could see Branch go out and play some corner, or maybe Branch comes down to the nickel. You move Amik Robertson outside. Obviously, Arnold is going to need to step up. Rakestraw will be back before the end of the regular season. So we've got some reinforcement coming, but the reinforcement that is coming, we don't know. There's a lot of question marks. How healthy are they going to be? How good are they going to be? We haven't seen Rakestraw at all, really, this season. He's got I don't even know if he has double-digit snaps this season. He has not played very much. And so, but anyway, I just want to throw that out. There's some type of reinforcement coming. Stark, I want to get your thoughts, though. I think you're going to be more optimistic than Jet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I am. I just believe that when you have a leader like Dan Campbell, he will get the most out of his guys. And I do think I listened to him on the way in to work the other day with his whole, forgot we used to have nothing but moldy bread and you need to get punched in the mouth to realize where you've been. They're going to be fine. I mean, they're going to be okay.
We'll say they're going to be fine. I mean, we just got damn near 50 points scored on us.
I don't give a shit. How many points did we score on them? They're healthy, and that's the best team in the NFL, and they're healthy. And you want to talk about the Lions having a bad week because we lost 21 players, 19 on defense, but you're not going to talk about how the Bills got 500 yards passing thrown on them and 5 touchdowns?
Well, they had
Why is no one talking about that?
They had 3 quarterbacks out.
We have 19 defensive players on IR. I don't care.
I know, I'm just saying, but like it wasn't like their whole team was healthy.
Listen, if you want to act like the sky is falling because we just lost a game like that to the Bills, then go for it. I don't hear anyone saying that about they didn't say anything about that about when they played the Rams the week before, and it's pretty much the same game or 2 weeks ago. It pisses me off. I do get pissed off
when we talk about you have one fucking loss in 11 weeks and all you guys are talking about is how fucking devastated you are that the season's over. Are you fucking kidding me?
No one
Get
said
out of
season-
here.
Nobody said
Get
season's over.
out of here. What are you
Nobody said
talking
season's
about?
over, but
Anyone
to say-
listening right now, if you sent a text, if you tweeted, if you said anything about the season being over, what is your problem? This is even now with 19, 21 guys, this is the best team we've ever had. I don't give a shit. We're going to be okay. You make it to the playoff as a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, a 4 seed, a 5, a 6, 7, 8. I don't care. You get to the playoffs, you win football games, you move on. We're going to bitch about a 1 seed now? Dude, fucking last year we had never won a playoff game in how long? Don't get all elitist on us because you think we're the. I hate this idea of like, oh, we have to get the 1 seed. Shut up. Get to the playoffs, win football games. It doesn't matter that bad. You can say it does. I don't care. It's football. They're gonna get there. They're gonna make noise. Oh, you want to be the underdog? Be the underdog. I don't care. But it really pisses me off when after one loss, you go online and this is what you look at. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches on this phone talking about you're not a fan. Nope. You think it's over? You're not a fan. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. Sorry.
So, Stark, what's funny here is I agree with both of you. Because, Stark, I agree. I think it's an overreaction to say because we lost to the Bills that the season's over, but I don't think that's what...
Both of you. I said Super Bowl is still on.
I'm not like directing that at you, Joey. I wasn't like necessarily directing that at you, but it's. I mean, I'm listening to the radio this morning going into work, and people are calling in saying this, and you go on Twitter, and half the people are saying this. It's crazy.
Here's what I'll say, and here's my take. I don't give a shit about the Bills game. That is like, I mean, we're 12-2. Right, we have the 1 seed in the NFC, and we're 12-2. So I don't give a shit about the Bills game. What I care about is the injuries. I care about the 19 defenders out, and I care about who is out and what that means going forward. But I have a ton of trust in Dan Campbell. I think Aaron Glenn is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. I think we know Ben Johnson might be the best offensive coordinator in the league, and I think Here's what I think, and we're going to get to the picks later. I think the Lions are going to drop a bomb in Chicago this weekend, and that's not that impressive. Chicago's dead. I mean, they've given up, and Caleb Williams sucks. But I think what you're going to get this weekend is they're going to figure something out on defense. They're playing a bad offense, and I think they might come in and drop a bomb on Chicago and finally get that win in Chicago that we've been chasing for a very long time. Yeah, go ahead, Jet.
Would you guys be worried if Caleb Williams put up a big number on us?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Because Caleb Williams sucks. And that is another conversation for another day about Caleb Williams. I mean, he's bad. Like, he's bad. Joey, I genuinely think you could stand in that pocket and make better decisions than Caleb Williams. Like, I loved Troy Aikman going off on Caleb Williams on Monday Night Football. Like, dude, it's 3rd and 6, and your first read is wide open in the middle of the field for 8 yards. Get him the ball. Get the first down. It's like he relishes the opportunity for him to do the little twirly twirls and spin out of the pocket and jump up and down and try to make some crazy play happen. Dude, your first read's wide open for the first down. Just hit him. So, anyway, moving on, though. Here is something in Stark. Maybe this pisses you off. Here is a take that I stand firmly by. Do I still think the Lions can win the Super Bowl? Yes. Do I think they can make it to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. I'm not. Nobody in the NFC scares me. I'm scared about potentially facing Josh Allen again or Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl, but nobody in the NFC scares me. But here's one thing I think is very important: you got to get the 1 seed. You have to get the 1 seed. Get the bye week. Play one less game. All of the games at home. You might get some dudes back like Anzalone, potentially Barnes. I don't believe that Hutch is actually coming back for the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, but he claims he is. But if you can get the 1 seed, sit at home wildcard weekend, get healthy, prepare for that divisional round game at Ford Field, win that game, and then you host the NFC Championship at Ford Field, I feel really good about their chances to get to the Super Bowl if they can get the 1 seed. I feel less optimistic if they're in the wild card round and they're having to go on the road for 3 straight games. So it doesn't mean that I'm out. It doesn't mean that I don't think they can do it. I think it is very important for this team to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, the bye week would be very important.
And the home field advantage.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
also, I mean, I don't necessarily care about 1 seed, but if we're not the 1 seed, then we're the 5 seed because the
Correct.
Vikings are 11-2. So
Correct. And then you're going to LA potentially. You're
Don't
going
care.
to Tampa
Don't care.
potentially. I would be fine going to Tampa, but going to LA,
They have
I
that.
would not feel great about it.
I wouldn't feel great about going to Seattle.
Yeah.
Their quarterback's done.
Unless Howell's under center. Yeah, unless Howell's
Howell's
under
under
center.
center, that would be sweet. That would be a gift.
If Howell is under center, though, that means that Seattle did not make the playoffs. I promise you that. But no, I just think I am still. I think we're all on the same page. I have gone from win the Super Bowl or bust to make it to the Super Bowl or bust, and I really think the 1 seed is important for this team. So, and here's the thing, and let me just lay this out for you guys, for the listeners. Win this weekend. Win next week. There's a really good chance you have that 1 seed locked up.
Yeah.
I mean, because Minnesota's got to play Green Bay, and I know Minnesota's 12-2. I just still don't buy it, and I think the Packers are a much better team. Minnesota also goes out on the road to Seattle this weekend. If Geno plays, I like Seattle. If Howell plays, I think Minnesota rolls. But and then the Eagles have a tough game on the road in Washington this weekend. So I mean, if the dream scenario as a Lions fan is you go into Chicago and win, and somehow the Seahawks and the Commanders win this weekend, and then we're sitting really pretty.
That might be the parlay.
I like that little Lions money line with the Seahawks and the Commanders.
Seahawks money line and Bears money line, or not Bears money line, but
No, do not take the Bears money line.
Never do that. No.
Please don't take the Bears money line. Okay, last question I want to bring up regarding the Lions, because I got a take on this. But Monty's out. Okay, Monty's out. Who knows if there's a miracle that he's back in the playoffs, he gets his third opinion. But Monty is out. Gibbs is the RB1, and he's going to get the large majority of the carries. Does that worry you at all?
no.
Quick answer.
Gibbs is the better running back.
Yeah, quick answer.
I feel like they're my kids. I don't want to play favorites. I don't want to say that I'm worried, but I don't want to say I'm not worried. I like Gibbs. I used to hate running backs by committee, and now I love it just because we've got 2 amazing running backs that can do it both. But is Gibbs a top 3 running back in the league? Yes. So I
Thank
think
you.
he'll
Okay.
be just fine.
All right, we're in agreement, because I was going to come on here and say, like, Monty sucks. Losing Monty sucks, right? Like, and the Monty injury really sucks. And what he brings, kind of, the Sonic and Knuckles and what that kind of that yin and yang that they bring is so important to the team. But I feel like people are making a bigger deal out of them losing Monty than they should be. Like, losing Liam McNeil is a bigger deal to this team.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 running back in this league. I can pull receipts up on this, by the way. Before the draft, I said that Jahmyr Gibbs is a better running back than Bijan Robinson, and I still believe that. I mean, Bijan's having a great year, but I would take Gibbs over Bijan. He is, and people don't give Gibbs enough credit for the dude can run with power.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
he's not just a speed back. He's tough to bring down. So I like. Here's my biggest worry, and I think they'll be smart about it. I just hope they don't overwork Gibbs, and then Gibbs gets hurt, right? Like, obviously Gibbs is going to have an uptick in carries and his touches and his snaps, but let's just Craig Reynolds is a dog. You need a couple yards, get Craig Reynolds in there. Do you remember one of my
Get Vaki out there.
Vaki's going to get some run? I heard Scotty Montgomery, the running back coach today, said watch out for Jamar Jefferson.
Really? He's still
Where'd
on the
you
roster.
hear that?
From the Lions running back coach
Yeah, I know. Where'd you hear that?
in his press conference.
Okay. Just making sure.
I'm just.
Shut up, bro.
Carry on.
He played well, and he played really well in the preseason. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. One of my favorite stories of all time, and then we're going to get into the picks, but one of my favorite stories of all time is last year against the Rams, 4th and goal. We need a touchdown. We're going for it from the 2. And I remember on my couch, I'm like, why is Craig Reynolds in the game? Like, they got to be throwing this, right? Like, this has to be a pass play. No, they just run an inside zone, and Craig walks into the end zone. And then on the St. Brown podcast that week, Amon Ra was like, yeah, we had the wrong personnel in the game. And I'm like out wide, and I look to my right, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's Craig. Why is Craig in the game? Like, they sent the wrong personnel in the game, but Craig still fought. Like, Craig had to lower his shoulder and get into the end zone. He did it. So, no, I think Craig can step up. We got some dudes in the backfield beside Gibbs, and then I think we're all in agreement that Gibbs is a top 5 back in the league. So we're just fine there. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like I have to justify myself for coming at you there for a second, Slim. Woodward Sports tweeted that, and the only reason I know that is because of their tweet about the ticket today. God, I hate them so much. I hate them so much.
What did they tweet about the
BBL
ticket?
Sports, you do not like Woodward Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would
And
love to
Woodward
create a
Sports.
rivalry with them.
I would
No,
love, yeah.
not even a rivalry. I want them to diminish. I want them to dissolve.
To be no more.
I have, okay, the 3 of us have full-time jobs, and we come on here once a week and drink and just kind of chop it up about sports. And there is so much more insight on this goofy ass podcast than anything you'll ever get from Woodward Sports. It is the worst product. Like,
They suck.
nobody's funny. No one's funny. No one talks about anything interesting. Their takes are atrocious, and their owner has a haircut that looks like a toddler grabbed a bowl out of the kitchen in his mom's clippers and cut his hair himself.
And
He's got a spray tan. Chad. He owns
Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Jane's.
Yeah, he's the
Dude,
worst.
He was adminning today from the account, and he was firing off tweets at people because people were shitting on him about, oh, you got to pay $1 million to get a viral clip for 97.1. Bro, fuck you guys. Who cares, dude? To get Dan Campbell on your show? Are you kidding me? That's worth its weight in gold.
I saw that tweet. I responded to that tweet, and I saw that as well. Unbelievable. I didn't know it was Chad. I believe it probably was Chad, though. It had to be Chad.
No, he came out. Somebody was like, "Did Chad okay this?" And he was like, "It's me. I'm Chad." That's what he said. And I was like, "Dude, are you fucking kidding?"
He's got the perfect name, by the way. Just Google Chad Lady Jane's. I mean, the dude made his money off of Lady Jane's. Okay.
Is that how he got big?
Yes.
Kind of.
go to
the
Lady
started.
Jane's.
Bottle. Yeah.
And then he started Woodward. He literally has Ryan Day's beard, or Chad's haircut.
Adam, you have it out for that beard.
Would you rather wake up every morning with Ryan Day's beard or Lady Jane Chad's haircut? I'm taking Day's beard, and you know how much I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't grow a beard, so I would take Ryan Day's beard.
It's a rhetorical question. It's easy answer. All right. F Woodward Sports. I hope they see this. Out of the 30 views we get, they're about to see this. All right. Let's get into the picks.
Let's go.
All right. So quick little in-season update, and we're to the end of the season. And we still, it's going to be a surprise, but we're going to have a good punishment for the loser on picks this year. And what we're doing is we're just doing one loser. So we're combining college picks with NFL picks. So Stark, you're not completely out of it, all right? Because you're doing all right in the college picks.
Or we could make college be like, or like playoffs be like 3x their value.
I don't know if I like this. Jet, do you like that? Because
I mean, it screws me. 'Cause
Right.
I'm the best. But you know what? I'm
no.
for the people. And I think we need to make a decision on the punishment sooner rather than later.
I agree. We've narrowed it down just for the listeners. We've narrowed it down, but we're not going to come to you with the punishment until we've decided. And I will say, like, we've thrown out, like, oh, make some funny TikToks. That's kind of played out. Like, it's played out a little bit. It's got to be creative. It's going to be better than that. We've got some good ideas. Here's
Lily
what we'll
Phillips, got to sign up for the Lily Phillips contest.
Dude, I saw that was someone's fantasy punishment. That is insane. Don't look that up, actually, if you don't know what we're talking about. But so here's what I think we do. Instead of 3xing, let's 2x. The playoff picks are worth 2 points.
10x it.
No, we ain't Jake Mitchell in this. We ain't Jacob Mitchell in this. Shout out to Jake Mitchell, by the way. I think he listens occasionally. 10x. All right, here's where we're at, though. Season long in college, I'm in the lead at 45-30. Jet, you're on my tail at 43-32, and Stark, you're right there at 42-33. So we all got really good college records. Round one of the playoffs this week. I'm pumped for it. We'll see. Man, I was kind of hoping, as they implemented the 12-team playoff, that we'd have some closer spread games. I'm hoping we get good games. I'm hoping some dogs show up. But let's get into it. Game 1, Friday night in South Bend. The in-state rivalry. Don't see these two teams playing a whole lot. We've got Indiana at Notre Dame. Notre Dame laying 7.5. I will lead us off. I think Notre Dame wins this game. But I think Indiana covers. I think this is a close game. I think Indiana's got enough fight in them. Signetti, dog. And I think he's going to have his team ready to go. Was thinking about this a little bit more when the spread was 6.5. It moved up to 7.5. That gave me what I needed to take the Hoosiers. So I'm going to take Indiana. Jet?
I think Notre Dame wins. I think they win convincingly. I think that they are one of the best teams in college football. If not the best.
All righty. Some foreshadowing, potentially. Stark.
Wait, did you pick Notre Dame in the points then?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take Indiana in the points. I think Notre Dame does win the game, but I could see Indiana getting up like 14-0, and then a little bit of like a storm back from Notre Dame, and then a little back and forth. I can see it's coming down to the last possession, either a touchdown or a field goal, but they're not going to win by more than that. So give me Indiana plus 7.5.
Love it. All right, we go to noon game on Saturday at Happy Valley. It's a whiteout, but it's a noon whiteout. SMU comes up to Penn State. Penn State laying 8.5. That environment is just so tough to play in. I think the ACC sucks, and I think this is probably James Franklin's best team. He's going to find a way to blow it later in the playoffs, but I like Penn State big. Give me PSU. Joey?
Sadly, I agree. I've been talking. I feel like since we've talked about the playoff, that I think Penn State's going to lose in the first round blowout. It'd be so funny, but the team is sadly very good, and I don't think that SMU is the team to beat them. I would have loved if Indiana drew them, but I don't think they would have done that because Big Ten. But yeah, no, I don't think SMU has the juice for them.
Coming up from Texas, by the way, too, and having to play in that environment. That's going to be tough. Stark?
I'm taking SMU. I might take SMU money line. I have a really weird feeling that SMU, they started their last game badly. They looked bad. But they turned something around in that game and came back and stormed back and made it a game to the point where they're in this tournament now. Right? Like, if they don't do that, they're not here. They're going to come in there, and they're going to punch them in the mouth. And I have a weird feeling, like, Franklin's not a great coach. They're not going to be fully ready. Jennings is a good quarterback, dual threat. Why not? I'm going to take – I don't even know what the spread is. But as we're talking about this, I'm like, SMU, that was your pick preseason to win the ACC. SMU. and you've been hating Penn State all year. You've been picking them to lose. I'm doing it. I'm taking SMU. I'm going to take that money line. I could just see them getting punched in the mouth. They're going to stuff their run game early, and then Drew Aller's going to lay an egg. I just don't think they're very good. So SMU.
That's fair. That you did, yeah. It's 8.5, and you did have that on the mark. You picked SMU, and I won't lie. I laughed at you. Joey and I both laughed at you when you picked SMU, and they almost did it. They didn't do it, but they almost did it.
They almost did it. But I think they're going to – I want some chaos. I want some – it's a college tournament. What happens in the basketball tournament? Chaos. It's a college football tournament. We're going to get some chaos, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd love to see some chaos as well. I just don't think it's going to happen at Penn State. But all right, let's go down to Austin, Texas. The Fighting Matthew McConaughey's laying 11.5 against Clemson. All right, Stark, take it.
I'm taking Clemson, and I want to take a money line. I think Texas has been looking like dog shit. There's rumors that Ewers is going to transfer. He's going to enter the portal. He's going to get money to go to a Big Ten school. I just can't take him. I'm going to take Clemson. They're buzzing. Dabo Swinney has a little bit of, like, as much as we all don't like him, like, they're the only team there with 3 losses.
He's got some Jesus in him.
Like, they have chip on their shoulder, a little bit of the underdog, and I really do like Cade Klubnik. Phil Maffa, I don't know if you know this, Joe. He's hurt. He has been, ever since he hurt his shoulder, he's been bad. But Cade Klubnik has been carrying the load. So I'm taking the plus 11.5. I might get crazy and take the money line. Or at least like first half money line. I could see him doing something early.
First half money line. That's sharp. I
love Clemson in this game.
I'm with you, Stark.
Crazy.
No, I'm not calling you crazy. I love Clemson. I think very early in the season, I thought Texas was the best team in the country. As the season has progressed and you take a look at how tough their schedule really was and how they performed in games against good teams, I like Clemson in this game. I think Clemson's getting hot at the right time. I think Klubnik is
good,
maybe the better college quarterback. I'm not saying that he's not the better passer per se, but his threat with his legs, he can make plays happen. And by the way, just throwing this little nugget out there, these two have faced each other before. Senior year of high school, they played in the state championship, and Klubnik won that game and outplayed Ewers. So I think he does it again. And if I had to pick an upset this weekend, this is the upset I'd pick. I'd take Clemson on the road over Texas. But I am going to take the 11.5. Jet.
There's something I want to say. It's not related to this. Remind me end of the pod to bring it up.
Okay.
Just mark a little reminder. I do think I'm so lame. I think that all the heavy favorites just like blow these teams out. I think Texas. I legit think that Ewers will have an hour to throw the ball, and I don't think it matters who the running back is. I think you could be out there at the running back. I think there are going to be gaping holes for them to run through, and I think that Clemson gets destroyed. Clemson, our second BBL lock of the week was Georgia over Clemson. It was like 3-0 at half, and they ended up winning by like 30. I really think that Texas and Georgia are very similar teams, so I think that something similar happens. Like it could be a little bit slower in the beginning, but then I think just Texas runs away with it in the end.
All right, you're on an island on that one. All right, we go to the final game. It's the night game at the Shoe. OSU hosting Tennessee. This is my. We'll have to discuss this off air. See if we upgrade this to a BBL lock. We'll see how everyone comes in on this, but I feel very good about the side that I'm on. I think OSU beats the brakes off them. I don't think Tennessee is very good. Their offense has not looked good this year. Their defense has been pretty good. Okay, their defense has been pretty good, and then their run game has been decent. Nico has not looked great this year against decent competition. I mean, he beats up on like Middle Tennessee State, but they have not been able to pass the ball, especially in SEC play. Ohio State does have a very good defense. And I think they get it together. You got Ryan Day. It's not Michigan. Kind of got that nothing to lose attitude. Kind of similar when they played Georgia in the college football playoff a couple years ago, and Day took the handcuffs off, and that offense looked amazing. They just have too many weapons on offense, and it's going to be a night game at the Shoe in the cold. Tennessee was practicing indoors today, okay? And they're going up in December to play a night game in Columbus.
How far away do you think those two universities are from each other?
4 hours.
Yeah, it's not much different. The weather's not that much different.
Yeah, get outside and practice. Give me OSU big. Give me OSU big minus 7.5. Jet.
Oh, yeah, Ohio State, once again, I'm picking the favorite. But this game, I think, will be the most boring of all of them, which is sad because it's the night game. But, yeah, it's going to be a slaughterhouse. I mean, the worst thing that could have happened for Tennessee was Michigan beating Ohio State the last week. And, I mean, they wouldn't have been seated there. But, I mean, this is coming off of a really, really bad loss. Just coming out to slaughter Tennessee. It's going to be bad.
Plus, Stark, before we get to you, I threw this stat out last week on the live stream. So, coaches that look eerily similar to the gourd from VeggieTales have never covered a spread in the college football playoff. And Josh Heupel, unfortunately, coaches the Tennessee Volunteers. So, you got to take OSU in this game. Stark.
Tennessee. Yeah, and I mean it. I'm taking Tennessee. Dylan Sampson is why. There's a potential situation where Ohio State is fucking broken. That Michigan just broke them. And I mean, did you see Jack Sawyer on that field after that game?
Yeah.
That's a broken man. Okay? So I don't know. I could just see this scenario where they're like, yeah, we lost to Michigan, but we're going to win the national title. And then they kind of take them lightly, and then Tennessee might come in there, and maybe we see Amalivia play his best game of his career so far. He's a young kid, and Sampson's a beast running back. I don't know why you guys made that face when I said that. He said he's the best he's felt all year. Saw an interview about it today. This is why I lean Tennessee.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. What?
No, I just said it's got to be true if he said it.
This is my prime podcasting, too.
Well, I'm taking Tennessee, and you guys are going to be wrong when you're fucking thinking you're so smart and taking all the favorites. But I'm going to take Tennessee.
You took every underdog. We are literally on a
Stark, you took every single dog.
I'm aware of that. You don't think that's intentional? That's intentional.
Hey, here's the thing. As a fan, the fan in me hopes that Stark sweeps. And I hope we get good games.
You know why
and
I think that? Because Ohio State, they're all looking at the thing being like, oh, who has the better route? Don't fucking worry about your route. You got to worry about what's right in front of you. All these guys are arguing about.
The players said that?
What?
The players said that? Or the Twitter.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on, you fucking cocksuckers. I'll get us. I will go off on you. I will crash out right here. I promise.
Their message boards are worked up. I get it. All right. Let's move on to the NFL. Update on the NFL. Mr. Joey Lee is in the lead at 37-28. Don't let it go without saying, though, he went 0-5 week 1. Stark, you are in last place. I'm not laughing, but you're in last place. 29-36. Some ground to make up. You got time to do it. And then I'm right on Jet's tail at 35-30, so I'm 2 games behind Jet. Let's move in. Let's start with the Thursday night game. Denver goes to the Chargers. Chargers laying 2.5. I'll start us off. This is a tough game to pick for me. Like, I am torn on this. I see way too many people on the Broncos. I don't know this for sure, but I think the Broncos are going to be the public side. Chargers coming off of a loss, still in the hunt. I think Harbaugh's got the dudes ready to play. I am going to take Chargers and lay the 2.5. Stark.
Chargers.
Go Chargers.
Give Me, the Broncos.
Denver it is for Jetty Lee. All right. Little AFC North matchup. The Steelers go to Baltimore. Baltimore laying 6.5. Man, the gut tells me to take Tomlin as the dog, but I can't. I just can't. I think that the Steelers got hot early. They're kind of like the Vikings to me. I don't take them that serious, and I think the Ravens are starting to get it right as they head into the playoffs. I will lay the 6.5 with Baltimore. Stark.
Baltimore.
Jetty Punch.
If there was ever a week for you guys to catch up, it'd be this one. Give me the Steelers. Mike Tomlin
go.
as a road dog, I will always take.
I told you I can't believe I'm picking against it, but I have to this week. Especially after that performance last week in Philly.
Derrick Henry game this week. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Let's do it. Why not? All right. Speaking of Philly, Philly goes to Washington. Philly laying 3.5. This is, I'll be honest with you, this is no football knowledge or any analytics. This is strictly my Lions fandom speaking. Give me the Commanders plus 3.5. Stark.
I'm a Jaden Daniels fanboy. Give me the Commanders plus 3.5.
Jet, give us some
I'm
analytics.
going to fade myself, and I'm going to take the Commanders. There's no reason why the Eagles might be the hottest team in football. There's no reason they should lose this game, but I think that the Commanders probably win outright.
Would love it. Would absolutely love it. Commanders win outright, and then Lions do their job, Commanders win outright. You're looking at more than likely battle for the 1 seed week 18 at Ford Field against the Vikings. So, and maybe even not. We'll see. All right. Let's go. Speaking of the Vikings, they go out to Seattle. Minnesota laying 3. Here's the tough part about capping this. We don't know who's playing quarterback for the Seahawks. And for that reason, I have to take the Vikings here. Because if Sam Howell trots out there, this is going to be a bloodbath. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Vikings. Stark, who do you like?
I'm going to take the Vikings. I think the Vikings are pretty good, and I don't know who's playing quarterback, like you said. So I don't even think Seattle's good with Gino.
I will also take the Vikings.
All right. Mini. All right, and then do I need to ask? Detroit goes to Chicago, have not won in Chicago since like 2020, maybe even before that. Goff has not won in Chicago, I believe, like as the starting quarterback. So, but they're laying 6.5. I think they drop a bomb. I mean, I think they win this game by 3-4 possessions. I don't know if Chicago scores a touchdown. I don't think the Lions drop 40. I mean, it's outdoors, Soldier Field, December. But I think the Lions handle them and cover the spread. Stark.
Lions for sure.
What was the spread?
6.5.
Yeah, give me the Lions.
Do we take this up to 13.5?
No, I was going to say if it was over 7, I would have taken the Bears.
Really? Okay. So, all right, good deal. We got some potential to make up some ground. We got 2 games that were on opposite sides of Jet. Stark, right. You and I are on the exact same side of all 5 games this week. I like it. All right, fellas. That was a solid episode 21. Shout out to the listeners. Does anyone want to do a specific listener shout out before we hop off here?
You were supposed to remind me something, but I forget what were we talking about at that time?
You college football, and you said it had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but to remind you at the end of the pod.
God damn it! I should have wrote it down.
Dude,
what were we talking about? It was the Ohio State-Tennessee game.
Was it? Dude, that thought is so far gone. It'll never be remembered, too. That's what sucks.
Oh my! I was on the edge of my seat too.
Yeah, no, it was a good one too. I think it was something insulting.
We were kind of going at Stark at that point in time.
What were we going at him for? Oh, all underdogs. Yeah. God, I don't know. I think it's lost. I think that one's gone.
Yeah, it's gone forever. All right.
Well, I hope that the Lions come out this week and absolutely smash the Bears to the point where Caleb Williams quits football and becomes a fashion designer.
Hot take of the week.
Yep.
Ooh,
Potential.
I like that one.
Potential Caleb Williams career path change after this weekend.
I remembered it. Oh my god, I can't believe I remembered it. That's crazy.
We did it. We did it,
Forgot it
Joe.
already.
Oh yes, okay. How come we didn't fucking clip me saying that Beck was gonna get benched at half and come back and win the game?
I'll do that. It's on me. I just haven't gotten a chance to do
football
it.
season, like the Travis Hunter Heisman. Do Joey's prediction? Your couple of your bet slips, and be like, you want to hang around us next football season if you want to know what's coming, because we've been predicting shit all year.
Wait. Don't
SMU
give
to
him
go
the
to the
bet
ACC
slips.
championship.
Don't give him the bet slips because he didn't say those on the pod. We need a legacy take from you, Slim, because Sarge
True.
came out a plus 6,500 future.
I don't know if you want to call this a legacy take, but going into Dallas, I said take the Lions minus 16.5. It's not enough points. It's going to be domination from start to finish.
That's
They're
not a legacy
whooping
take.
ass.
You know what your legacy take is? We're going to be the best team in football if we don't get hit by the injury bug.
You know what? I do have a sad legacy take because before the season even started, I brought up the topic and you guys got pissed at me about it. And I was like, I'm just nervous because the Lions have had really good injury luck the last couple years. So that's a terrible take, though.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 21. Shout out to listeners. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Follow us everywhere. We'll see you guys.
Go Lions.